Okay, what's up everybody? I'm just making a short video here to show something that is currently a huge issue in this game for a lot of characters, okay? Based on hitbox inconsistencies. So, let's see. Okay, so Jason's back one, move type is mid. Alright, now that means that he's supposed to be able to hit standing or crouching characters with it, which, you know, that's what a mid is. A high attack whiffs on crouching characters. A low attack, has to be blocked low. An overhead attack will hit if you block low. A mid hitting attack is supposed to just hit you if you're ducking. So there we go, look at that. It's hitting her when she's ducking. The problem is that it is very inconsistent. And if you look, there are these black boxes on the wall behind Melina, so you can kind of, and then there's a like a lighter line between her head and the black box. So you can kind of gauge her bob level, let's say, because she's bobbing up and down. Okay. Let's get her over here. So if you notice, when she's blocking, and this applies if she's not blocking too, but I find it easier to look at. Alright, so if you look at her head, you can see that at her highest bob level, her head kind of touches that black box. And then she kind of goes down and then comes out not quite as high, where she's about halfway between that lighter line, okay? So we've got high, not as high, high, not as high, alright? So, and this doesn't just apply to Melina, this is pretty much any character that does not have a giant hitbox, like Jason and Goro and Ferritor, okay? But, so here we go. So if her head is touching that box, then my mid-hitting attack will connect, okay? Simple enough. If her head is not touching the giant box, she's in any other state, my mid-hitting attack is going to whiff. Okay? Which is not, a mid-hitting attack is supposed to hit crouching characters, but here we go. And so that's not something you can actually pay attention to or control during a match, making it effectively completely random. Even for the Melina player, she's crouch blocking and wanting to avoid Jason's fairly dominant back 1-2-2, she can still randomly get hit by it, even though the majority of the time it will whiff. So it's bad for everyone. It's an inconsistency. It's basically an element of chance in a fighting game, and chance does not belong in a competitive fighter. So, hopefully that gets patched out. The same applies. Let's see if she's not blocking. Yep, so if she's at her highest, it'll hit. If she's not at her highest, there we go, it'll whiff. So yeah, it's not based on properties, it's a mid-hitting attack, it should hit her whether she's standing or crouching. It's based on actual hitboxes, which means, if she's ducking, it's inconsistent, but it's also, there are a lot of weird hit states in this game. She's trying to low poke or using certain moves, then a lot of other moves will whiff, and it's very, very, very inconsistent and random, and sometimes those moves will cause it to whiff, sometimes they won't, but this at least hopefully gets patched out. The whole, if they're bobbing, that should not affect whether it's their head or not. And then there is one more issue I want to show. And this is fairly common. It's still annoying. But I know there are several characters that have this issue. Maybe it's more of an issue for the defensive player. Okay, so once again with hit levels. Duck. Alright, Farrah's standing 1, square, is a high. It's a high hitting attack, which means if she's ducking, it should whiff. Alright, great. Even though it's going right through her forehead, it's whiffing. And that's great. It's based on game mechanics and not, specific character hitbox, which drives me crazy. That drives a lot of players crazy. Alright, so look, even though it goes straight through her head, that whiffs. Wonderful. That's exactly what it should do. But as soon as she starts blocking, it hits. So, that is at least consistent. It's not as big of a deal as the bobbing hitbox. She's either blocking or she's not. either blocking or she's not, and she's either a high level, a mid level, or a low level. You know, all these things that you just would be insane to try to keep track of during an actual match. You just can't do it. So this is at least consistent, but it's still annoying that, you know, this is a high attack. It should be whiffing on her. If she's not blocking, it whiffs. If she is blocking, it doesn't. That just does not really make any sense. Makes that move really good. So yeah, so that's all I got today. There are a ton of inconsistencies in this game right now. I actually made a video specifically about Jackie because she's unusable in the current state of the game. So, you know, tweet NRS, get their attention. Hopefully this stuff gets patched out. Thanks for watching.